You know what's tough? Resuming a TV show that you started over a year ago. You know what's even harder? Video games are interesting, at least story-based ones. When you play a game like Xenoblade Chronicles, odds are the anticipation is for you to play straight through the game, right? Maybe sit down for a couple weeks and every day just grind a little bit at it till you beat the game. It's not really a game where you're gonna play for a month, stop for about 3 more months, and then pick back up and, have it feel completely natural. On the other hand, if you're playing New Super Mario Brothers and you put it down for 10 fucking years and pick it back up, you can probably remember everything that you just did. Why? Because it's really fucking simple. So, let's play a little game called Complexity in Video Games. Is it worth it? Is it necessary? And how easy is it to get back into it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start by talking about games you play with others. Now, if I'm going to pass someone a controller who's never touched a game and explain to them what it is they have to do, it has to be simple enough for them to do it. Here's a perfect example, right? You move with the analog stick, A's to shoot, B's to pass, there's items, you figure it out as you go. Good fucking luck explaining the controls of this game to your little fucking brother. The whole reason Wii Sports was so popular was because you just swing the remote, right? Like a baseball. You try getting someone to play MLB The Show with you, every fucking button does something. Think about that. So then what would you say is like the perfect balance, right? Like Wii Sports is a little too casual, but then something like MLB The Show is a little too loser. Da 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 da, Mario, haha, it's still a me. What's amazing about this game is the complexity if you really care that much. If not, yeah, you just pitch the baseball, you swing the bat, you run, just waggle the Wii remote, right? But if you know the game, you know about the synergy between players, you know about the different stats, you know about different positions to put them in, you know about items, you know about different stage mechanics. So you can go pretty deep into this game, but if you're also just playing with little stupid fucking cousin who, likes to wipe his nose on everything, it still works too. I think for me, the idea of getting back into a game I haven't played in a long time is a lot more enticing than actually getting back into the game that I haven't played for a long time. Recently, I've been starting to replay the WarioWare games, and they're so fun, and they're also simple. In fact, it's better if you forget kind of what each microgame is, because you have that like, oh shit, what do I do moment again. But what's really interesting is if you try getting back into a game like WarioWare Move It, where there's different poses that you do with the Joy-Cons. So if you've already played the game and you try doing like another stage, they don't give you the tutorial again. So they just sort of show you like, this is the position you gotta put the stupid Joy-Cons in, and I'm just like, oh fuck, oh god, what's happening? But it's still really easy to play. Like, it's still easy to get back into, which is kind of how it should be. Don't feel scared or intimidated to return to this game like, I'm gonna forget the controls. I know I'm gonna pick them up like butter. Well, actually, that's probably an awful analogy. Butter's not easy to pick up. But how about more story ones? I led with the story, I didn't talk about the story. Let's talk about it. Interestingly enough, I did try that with Xenoblade. Xenoblade 3. I never beat Xenoblade 3. I got to the part on the prison, and that's where I'm stuck. The problem I have is when I try and get back into the game, I'm right before a boss fight. And so I sort of have to kind of like learn the controls again and the mechanics and everything when I'm already at a part that I'm struggling with. So that game is right on the shelf. How about this cute little marketable bastard? Pokemon games are so easy to return to. I mean, it's probably not ideal because you go back like, all right, who's on my team, and you don't really care about them as much, but you can just see, oh, look, I have Lucario, so clearly I have an idea of what his moveset's gonna be, fighting. It's not, say, like a traditional RPG where you're like, what level am I, and what mana do I have? So then let's actually ask the question of, how complex should a game get? Somehow I always keep coming back to you. In this darling of a game, Wario changes abilities. How does he change abilities? Well, on the touchscreen, you kind of draw him. So if he's an astronaut, you draw like a little helmet. And if he's a fire-breathing dragon Wario, you draw like a little tail. I remember it just because I'm a loser. Good luck remembering all of it. Like, it does teach you, it does show you, but you lose that sort of muscle memory. You lose that sort of, oh, I recognize this is going to be from this power-up, and it's not an easy game to come back to. Despite it being fucking Wario Masters of Disguise, why would you even want to come back to that game? Here's another tough one to want to go back to. Think about it. You have to remember exactly what persona you have. There's a lot of them. Movesets it has, right? What part you are even at. What's happening in the story. How many days left. What affinity you have. Like, these are all things you can technically check in the game, but odds are you're going back to it because you never finished it originally and you want to finish it. You kind of get that urge. So you're not necessarily like, oh, I know everything about this game. It's not the easiest thing to come back to. This one might be a little controversial, but you know what else isn't easy to come back to? Animal Crossing. Whenever you're in that situation of, I haven't played a game for a while and I want to play it again, it's always, do I pick up where I left off or do I start a new save file? And for me with Animal Crossing, it's normally the new save file. I mean, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna see my hair's a mess, there's cockroaches everywhere, weeds around, and some of the villagers that I might have remembered have left, new ones might have shown up, and the world's just not really gonna be how I remembered it. It might be how it looks, but not how it felt. This is why you watch me. I make the profound statements. I think if it's a multiplayer game, the game has to be easy for anyone to play, but difficult to master. Not so much like in Madden, like you have to use every fucking button available to throw a fucking football. That's stupid. And if it's a story-based game, yeah, it's not easy to pick up and get into. That's why there are some games that'll give you like the story so far, which is nice. But odds are, if I'm returning to a story-based game I haven't played for a couple years, I'm just gonna start a new file and then get to the exact same part I stopped at before, and that's it. Like, it's just a never-ending cycle, and I'm never gonna finish Xenoblade 3. Not happening. Sorry. Not gonna do it.